What's going on, everybody? This is Joe from BMT2 Unfiltered coming at you again. I was going to do a topic on talking about a matter that I felt like a lot of you guys, um, it was going to be a good show. It still is. We're actually still putting it together. I've been doing a lot of writing, and sometimes I like to take my day off and actually just, you know, think and collect myself. I actually met some new people. I met some interesting new development in who I am, and also, I reestablished myself. But one of the talks that I had with a young brother, and he was talking to me and he was telling me how, Joe, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm actually, reestablishing myself. Yeah, I got you, brother. I'm actually starting to make my way up and coming in of age. So, I want that kind of money. I want that type of respect like you. And as I listened to him, I said, well, what are you going to do? I said, what are you going to do with money? He said, when I get my money, I'm going to buy all the women I want. Any woman I want, I would have access to her, and I will be able to do whatever I want. And then she can't tell me shit. And you know what? And I listened to him. I said, is that your main purpose for you getting money? He said, yeah. So that way I can dominate and control women. And what's going on, MOT?
What's up?
And this brother was telling me, and again, you guys, if you're on the Facebook, come on over to the YouTube channel. Again, come on over to the YouTube channel, support me, support MOT, Black Men's Congregation, as well as the MOT podcast. Brother already released an amazing classic hit today, but yeah, come on over to the channel. But the young brother was telling me how he was listening to men talk about how they get their money, how they can buy any woman that they want, how they can dominate and control. And I was sitting there listening and absorbing it. And as I listened to him, I reflected on myself, on how I used to think and how I used to be. And I said, is your main goal is to have this kind of power to control women? He said, yes, because I know that, I seen how women like money, and I want women. So I just need more money so I can have women. Before I give my answer, I'm going to let MOT give his thought process on why do men feel like the more money that they have, the more that they can control the woman. And is that a safe thought process?
It is not a safe thought process. It's a thought process of a fool who don't understand how things work. You have to understand that your self-confidence, your self-value comes from the word self, not them. There's no them in the word self. Like there's no I in the word team. You have to realize that those women who you're trying to get access to, you're simply settling for access. You don't have control. And I'm not saying that you should have control over people with that type of nature, but you have to look at women, how they are viewed in other cultures. Women don't go around choosing men to just use and abuse and all this type of stuff. Like, this is just some purely American shit. And you have the combined forces of retired hoes, dating coaches, dudes who proclaim themselves as pimps. None of these people hold the women accountable, which is the reason why they hang around these dudes. Like, there is no woman who goes from place to place being held responsible in this society. And since she don't do that, she runs into pitfall after pitfall after pitfall based on the simple fact she haven't learned the first responsibility as a woman is to be accountable to your man. One man.
Preach.
Not a group of men, not everything else. Who are you serving as a woman? Right? Yeah, I heard my dad break this down to my mother multiple periods of times. And it made sense. Not when I was in the household, but when I left to try to go find something for my own, I realized I didn't have to go anywhere but Germany to realize exactly what women were supposed to do for men. Like these things are not even that hard. They're hard because of where you're raised at, the things that you're listening to, the people who you deal with. But at the end of the day, these things are super simple. And given a person who has options to not deal with reality, is not going to be able to help them at all. Most of these women have options to deal with any man that they want to. Look good, body right, blah, 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 blah. But they still choose the wrong type of guys. Why? Because they think there's still room on the clock left for their decisions and their future. That's the problem. And you have these guys out here who think that as long as I can be able to embody the fact that I can purely take on all her stresses and strains and still be a man at the end of the day, dude, you're a fool. She's just using you. And she knows that you're not going to bring her to any type of account. She already knows that. That's why she's on your side. She just sits there and hide 2 feet behind you while you take all the arrows, like Jet Li from Hero.
Mm.
That's exactly what your purpose is. To act like you're man enough to manage through this chaos. And that is particularly a failing of yours, not hers. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Time and time again, I see a lot of you men who work and slave and fight and bust your backs all day. And you get a pretty diamond. And I watch the talking points from y'all from different channels, different shows, and y'all say, as long as I had the money, I can have a platter. And you know, me and MOT have said that. We have. But I would say, and I would take on some of my blame that we didn't go in depth on what we did. See, we didn't mind in partaking in tasting the fruit. We didn't mind having a sample. But never did we ever tell y'all to take that home. You can go ahead and look at my footage. You can go look at MOT's footage. MOT, have you ever told them to try to take any of these women home that they have brazenly paid for or bought to adore and flounder after them? Have you ever told these men to take them home? I just want to make sure I don't want to make you a liar or make me a liar. Have you ever told any of these men to take any of these women home? I think he's on mute.
No, I'm here.
Have you ever told any of these brothers to take these women home?
Not at all.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I don't want to be a liar.
Not ever. I mean, but there's a specific and particular reason why.
Well, we're gonna get into that. I know because I know there's a reason why you definitely want to jump on this. You see, I want you men to understand that you only bought her time, but you ain't never gonna own her.
She's trying to get a future out of that temporary time.
Exactly.
That's what I don't get.
Exactly. You are no more than just contracting her out. Well, she's contracted to you for the time being. You see, you didn't really realistically earn her. This is why we watch a lot of Pippins, Kobe's, and Shaqs, men that have means of finances. And I understand some of y'all brothers think that, you know, if I go get me a white woman, I won't have this problem either. But see, it's not just a color thing. It's just a woman thing that a lot of y'all men are harping and going over. You see, you don't understand that you don't value yourself enough to say that, listen, if I just throw my resources at her, I will own her. Now, if you're fine with that type of fate of being a slave to your own desires, then this video is not for you. I shouldn't see you a few years down the road saying that she took everything from me because you signed up for that contract. You willingly walked into the fire, poured gasoline on yourself, and sat down and lit up a cigarette. Because
Expecting the best. Expecting the best out of that.
expecting the best out of that. You see, I get tired of seeing these videos where y'all brothers say, well, you'll look at these videos of, hey, get hundreds of dollars and you can have any woman. But see, you can have them, but you won't ever have her. You see, you gotta understand that when you start to hit that rough or you hit that divot or you hit that problem, I will ask you, do you really want her to be that person to say, cut the line? Do you really want her to be that person that bears your children? You see, we got to talk about it because honestly, and I mean, some women gonna be like, "Oh, not all women are like that." If you know it ain't you, then shut up. But I'm telling you, a lot of you brothers, that y'all need to be more wise in picking your woman and do not use your fight. See, we had a thing in the military. We always told the young soldiers, "Listen, never tell them you're in the military.
Ever.
You never tell them you're in the military." Whenever we would go on contracts or we would go out and some boys would have money in their pocket, I would say, keep that money in your pocket. Only carry $100 on you. If she only see you pull out a few ones, that's fine. Because you need to know what you're dealing with and is she for you or against you? Because if she can't listen to the talking points that you are pushing out or listen to you or have a visible complacent, what's a compliant discussion, you might have a problem. You may very well have an issue because time and time again, y'all get with this woman, you pay for something, but it's not what you actually need. I'm gonna pass it over to you, brother.
Like, y'all have to understand that you're not going to win this through their means. Their means is just to take resources and move to the next guy. Like, that's their primary function. And if you listen to these people for any period of time, there's a certain level of asking and choosing that they operate by. So when you sit around and think that you're being chose by this super hot woman, like what is she choosing? She's choosing a weak ass dude
Yep.
who she could choose for money. You're not special. And stop trying to proclaim this as this is some shit that falls from masculinity in the black community. I break holes down to their compound every fucking day.
How many times have we
Come
seen
across.
women? How many times, brother, have you seen women choose a man with no money over the man that she knows has the better resources?
Because control is more important than anything else.
Mm. Mm. Talk
That
about it,
is
man.
why you would see women who are good looking, but they will choose control over everything else on the barometer, even temporarily versus long term. They'll choose control. Even temporary control is far more of a high than long term control. They don't have the ability to think in the long term because if they did, they wouldn't be choosing these options. You have to realize why on earth are you so lucky all of a sudden? Is it that you listened to the right guy? He gave you the right information, X, Y. Like, what is it about you that you can name for yourself? Because that's what she's looking at. Why are you so lucky all of a sudden? Why? And how do you compare that to the most men in society? Because they know your penchant for quick sex would actually put you in their control. while making it look like you're doing the choosing of her when she's doing the choosing of you. You are a fool.
And we've seen this countless times with athletes and young men who are coming into money. Plenty of times y'all think, well, I got plenty of dollars and I can go to the club and have any woman I want. See, once y'all start saying that,
They're lined up at the door. You think the motherfuckers ain't got people at the door? I just met XYZ at the club, homegirl with the fucking bad thought signal in the fucking sky. We got somebody who we about to get come up off of. Like y'all don't understand that they are profiling you like a sexual predator profiles a young innocent child. You are the young innocent child in this scenario. You are the Rob Kardashian in this scenario.
mm.
They don't care. They never have. There is no track record. And the more Christian she proclaims, the least that you should trust her. Because at the end of the day, you don't see these Christian women out here trying to shut down Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram or anything else because them hoes use the same thing that every other hoe use. Everything possible to get the maximum amount of effectiveness for their actual concern. But if you don't roll into this situation with this possible mindset, then they have power over you. Because you think that, oh my God, this girl, she looks so good, but she's choosing you because you are a fucking chump who she can get shit out of. It's the rule of sales. Go after the people who you can get the most out of. Don't think that you're special. Don't think it because she lets you have access with unprotected sex that somehow you're winning. You're not winning with that.
Mm-hmm.
She has the ability to win. The moment she ends up pregnant, and most times the child isn't even yours. But as long as you sign the birth certificate, dumb motherfucker, this shit is on you to deal with. And we don't even care about fraud as a country in relation to this. We seem to sit around and laugh at guys who are part of this XYZ. This is why you have to protect yourself out there.
Let me tell y'all something right now. A lot of you young men who have grown up in a household have sadly been pushed on to believe in materialistic things win the day. Y'all sadly believe that. Y'all have seen somebody come by and adore your mother and try to woo her, and you think that sometimes, and sadly a lot of us in homes, especially single parent homes, you're told that this is what you need to do. I need to be Prince Charming, go get her a few diamond rings, take her out to Red Lobster or Olive Garden or whatever 5-star restaurant if she is worthy of my time. And I need to hopefully pray that she allows me to sniff her hair. And it's dangerous, especially for some of you men who are inexperienced. And I'm going to tell you right now, women can sniff inexperience. They can. They will see just how much they can get away with. You don't believe me? Ask some of them. The ones that you trust, if there's one. Listen to the stories of some of these guys that said, I give them my all housing, car, and payment. And we're not talking for no betterment. We're talking from knowledge. We're talking from, I've seen it. I've been through some of this stuff. And T has had his fair share. And we learn to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, wipe the blood from our face, and get back in the fight. You cannot buy these types of women. You think by telling them that you're a millionaire that they're impressed? Because if that was the case, more women will be looking for more successful men who are doing what they need to be doing. Think about that. They wouldn't be trying to buck at them to try to get the resource. They would be trying to buck with them to actually rise with their success. They would be contributing. They would be adoring these men. But see, you got to understand that you're trying to control a woman that you're paying for her time, that you have to pay to keep around you, that for you to see your children, you have to give a certain amount of coin. And this is dangerous for a lot of men, because I'm watching a lot of you young boys thinking that if you put on a certain chain or wear a certain type of clothing, or you say, yo, this is worth such and such amount of money, this is the only way that that woman should be able to see you. And we see it time and time again. MOT has told y'all, be wary of this thought process. Be wary of the thought logic. Be wary of that type of logic where you think that this is the only way you can flex your masculinity. It never works. And those are the men who do that. They are slaves to this type of slavery. It's like the new slavery for men. And I'm going to tell you right now, some women are never going to tell you about it. They won't. They won't, because if they had to tell you about it, that means they are just as fucked up, or that they understand. Now, some women, they will say, hey, some women don't care about the resources. Some women, that's very rare. And I'm going to say, and we're going to say it like that, because if that was the case, then our community, especially the black community, would not be the way it is. I see y'all fight over wearing a certain type of pair of shoes or wearing a certain type of clothes that cost more than a car payment just to get some women to look at you in an establishment. And then you'll hear, well, whose fault is that? Well, see, understand this. You have nobody else to blame but yourself. Because if she only was looking at you because of what you was wearing and how you were spending your money, then she never was really looking at you, but the coin and financial moves that you were making. I'll pass it over to you, brother.
Like, most of these women know that they live in a matriarchy. All they have to do is just simply give you the semblance of femininity, and you fall all over it. Yeah, you do. And you have to realize that they have been living off this for quite a while. This is a created system by them with your help, because you haven't went anywhere else. You don't know what women even act like, or even look like, or even behave like. So you think the women who you are around, or even a part of, who are nothing but parasites. This is exactly what this needs to be. And most women don't like to be reduced to such or as such, but this is the way it is. You have to sit there and ask yourself, why would a woman who's a 10 out of 10 choose to be with a guy who's an MLB player, the guy who works at the factory? Do you think she really went after every single guy in the factory before she decided to be with a Major League Baseball player? No, they go after those people based off of predatory tendencies for their future. And you have to do the same. Depending on where you live at, you have to do the same thing that they're doing. Because not everybody has the same marketplace value in every single situation. I have seen women who are blonde, which I don't like, go into other situations like Italy, where it's not a blonde woman's market, it's a dark haired woman's market. And they get passed up by every motherfucker on the planet, but they do get played within the people who are the least desired, the least responsible, the least everything else. And so they get poisoned by the fact that they have so many options to where they don't have to sit down and choose the right thing, and then their fucking time's up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years later, maybe sometimes 2, 3 kids later. They're starting to look at things that they should have looked at when they had the height of their power. Now they're at the least of their power, and now they're looking at things the way that it should be. But not the way that it should be. It's just that they're just looking at it from a predatory standpoint still. You have to stop being that type of guy who they could just walk into your life and just take your value from you. Because the government just wants their bills to be paid. They want them to be paid by willing participants or damn fools in your case.
Mm.
So that's all I got.
Again, Ghost asked the question, but Joe, all married men are paying for their time. If you lose your job or get foreclosed on, watch how fast you will get divorced.
It's too easy. Too easy. But this isn't a plan that just came out of the blue. This was always a plan. Like, most people think that, oh, my girl would never, yeah, she would never do that until she's pushed into that corner. And then that's when she takes all the actual rights and privileges that she has afforded to her on you. Stop thinking dumb shit like I'm a decent guy, therefore this woman's gonna be held in check by my decency. That's a dumbass shit that they want you to believe. You have to operate in a different spectrum. Is that my peace and my freedom is worth more than any woman's security? That's how you overcome that. It's a very simple statement. I do it all the time. Everything that I do. Oh, you want to get into bed right away? Whoop, brakes on that. Time to go to the gynecologist to put your ass on some birth control. Because I don't do birth control pills. It's nothing but strategic birth choice. We're going to put your ass on some automated shit. So that way I can have as much as I want, the way I want. So that way you can figure out how you think you're going to be able to be a part of this through misappropriation of sex, which is quite deliberate on their side.
I would tell a lot of you brothers, one of the things to do to make her work. Make her work. That's the best way to say it. I had to cough the bitch out of me because Skynet was trying to keep me from saying that. You make her build. One of the things about it is you are willing to give up yours, but you don't ask for nothing back. And of course, I've heard, well, I'm giving you children. My vagina is a gift. No, nigga, I don't know. Make her work. That's going to be a topic for another time, but you need to make her grab that damn shovel. And as you throw sand in, you need to make her mix that concrete as you build your castle. Put her ass to work. Now, some people are going to say, well, why would you make her do that? Like, I mean, that's not. That is her job. She will support you. And if she does not, you do not need her. Cut her loose. Let her, like just like they said in Gone with the Wind, baby, I don't give a damn. There's a door. You see, if you don't learn to start speaking up and make her earn her keep. You don't have a company and just let anybody come onto the board. They have to have the proper qualifications. And you see, sadly, a lot of you brothers just let anybody on the board. But when they steal your company from you, you wonder, like, how? How did this happen? Because you didn't challenge against the grain and actually said, hey, for you to be able to sit in front of me and take my time, I need to know what about you should be qualified? And I don't mean by just you being able to spread your legs, because that's a mindless talent. You see, that is the easy con man game. I need y'all brothers to be disciplined. Set some type of standard of value of guidelines of what makes you conditioned as a man. Because when you start letting anybody in your camp, you fall by the wayside. And I promise you, she can get away with one thing or two things. This type of woman, she will destroy you. And you cannot say, how could you do this to me? Because she will reply to you, you should have known what you were getting into. You should have known. And that is true. That is very true. I already understand it. I had my horny toned phase where I never had a female, so I thought if a female just give me that time of day, that I had to pay her and I had to make her want to stay. But see, little did I know that I didn't need that shit. She needed me more than I needed her. See, when you start getting to that mindset, shit will get a lot easier, because you understand that, listen, with or without her, I can still do amazing things. I can still keep on making my money. I can still keep on traveling and doing things one after another, after another, after another. No woman pays MOT. No woman pays me. We pay ourselves. And until you get to that mindset that you don't need a woman to validate your movement. MOT, you want to tell them about your show in the congregation before we cut out?
Yeah, show every Sunday called Black Man's Congregation. Every Sunday between the hours of 12 and 1 Eastern Time. Well, me and Joe talk about things that are essential for things for black men. And even if you're not black, you can also benefit from these things. And I also have a show called Man of Tomorrow on the Anchor Network.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure you've heard that show, because I've had an uptick in people who've been listening to it, even though I haven't given it but to two people, even though I have 10 views on it.
Doing
It's just
good.
that, yeah. So it's just that, it's just that I'm just trying to get y'all to look at things in different ways. Because the way they walk in and profile you is exactly based on the way that I am talking about in that actual podcast. There's really no reason for you to be going through the most of the things that you're going through. But we can't put it to a stop. And that's all we got for that. So
We thank you, brothers, for joining us tonight on BMT2 Unfiltered. We wanted to just do this short tidbit. And don't worry, I will be able to pull more out of this episode. I just didn't want to pull everything. Some things I like to savor and actually take my time and break down. So right now, you're sitting down with us on the couch, and we're going to start whining slow. So that way you can actually get a feel for these things. Please, brothers, don't use your money to keep her around. Let that go. You make her build and work her ass off. Earn her keep in that house. Make her earn her keep in that. I'm going to do a topic about that. About make her earn her keep. A lot of women ain't going to like me saying that. But see, the women who are in line with their man, they understand that. No, I bust my ass. I make sure he stays on tip-top shape so that way he can do the thing he need to do. I mean, he just told you that for you to get with him, you got certain requirements you got to meet. And if you don't, here's the door. And he won't compromise it for nobody. So, you guys, y'all take care. Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all again tomorrow here on BMT2 Unfiltered. Again, Send us a comment if you got one. Like the video, share the love. Again, if you want to, hit me up on my comments, hit me up on the email, or check out the Negro Shade Radio podcast. All right, guys, I'm Joe from BMT2. Peace. Have a good night.